I've had this dilemma I noticed in the first few years of school. My whole life was made up by my grades, and I've had a difficult time trying to compensate for the lack of A's. It all started with my parents' mental bleeding, and don't get me wrong, I love them, but sometimes I get the fleeting thought that I'm the flawed one instead of society. You see, I've lived in this box when I do things the same, I need to do them better than others, and when I try to innovate, I always end up fumbling my own words into a mess. The schooling system that I've lived in my whole life has left me in a bit of a mental trauma. I'm scared to open my grade book, that they won't all just be that perfect first letter, and I might seem down and I might seem in the dumps, but it's probably just a lump on my throat because my last week's test wasn't perfect, and the fact that I did all my homework doesn't matter because the test makes up 85% of my grade. Some people call me an intuitive person, but it still doesn't really make sense to me how I can be sitting in a desk alongside everyone else sitting in perfect rows in uncomfortable chairs, and how the few pieces of paper with geometry problems on it are going to decide whether or not I can pursue my passion in art. People say blame yourself, not the system, but frankly, I disagree. To a point where we can blame ourselves, but if I have to memorize the quadratic formula in multiple formats to be able to major in English, then I might have a problem. I still have my own thoughts and opinions, stories to share and ideas to spread. School's the medium in which I'm able to paint my own picture, and because of its inherent flaws, I seem like I'm never enough. Testifying on worth in math is another language I have to understand on top of the other language I have to learn because of regulations made by people that understand school better than I do. Education is not only paid in money, but it's also paid with the countless hours of my youth.